So now moving on the next point. The next, today we are going to talk about that next, like how we are going to use virtualization to get that KVM mechanism called right inside your OpenShift virtualization. Right. So the process what we have, right? Again, assume that we already have our OpenShift environment, right? And inside that, we are trying to manage or we can order to create our virtual machines, right? Because again, cannot run everything in the containerized mechanism, correct? So the OpenShift, right, offer a kind of way we can say method and mechanisms, right? Like you as an OpenShift administrator, if you want to manage your virtual based machines, right? Then yes, you can also manage and maintain your VMs, we can say, in this particular OpenShift virtualization, right? So the point what we have that like how they're going to manage that. You mentioned that other OpenShift virtualization product, right? You guys must aware of those Red Hat virtualization, RHCE and manager like RHCE and all, right? So similarly, we just mentioned that other Red Hat virtualization product, right? OpenShift virtualization use kernel-based virtual machines, right? So you guys are aware of this KPI, same thing, right? Again, what I'm trying to mention that like similarly, like other Red Hat VMs product, right? Like virtual product, OpenShift also using this kind of KVM technologies, right? As the hypervisors, right? So we have these mechanisms, and we can mention that we have like libvirt, right? So that's what we have that libvirt. So again, this OpenShift virtualizations use kernel-based virtual machine technologies as hypervisors and that libvirt libraries for defining the virtual machines. We have two things, correct? Like to handling those hypervisors things, we have a KVM, right? And this libvirt libraries for defining the virtual machines, right? So we mentioned that like KVM and libvirt, right, are run in a container, right, that can be deployed in a Kubernetes and OpenShift platform, right, along with their containerized application, right? And then we have like this my QMove, we can say that Kube emulator, QEM, right? So then what we have that this QMove, right? This is a guest, we can say. So this guest agent, right, pass the information about VM to the host. Because these things, correct? Again, I'm mentioning that like your KVM, we can say that like again, OpenShift also going to use this KVM technology as the hypervisors, right? And this libvirt libraries for the defining the virtual machines, right? So the KVM and libvirt are in like a container that can be deployed in your Kubernetes and OpenShift platform along with the containerized application, correct? And this QMove, we just mentioned that it's like a guest agent, right? That pass informations about the VM to the right. So just for the reference, what I did that right, so I just created a one environment here. If you notice now, see. So if you're comparing these Red Hat product specifically the VMs specifically, right? If you notice now, what we have that right. So we have my this Red Hat virtualization. Means what exactly we have that? Maybe you guys are aware of this. There is a course 318, RX318, right? That is a Red Hat virtualization. Inside that, what we have that is my Red Hat virtualization host. Inside that, what we have that we have my this QMove, libvirt, and then we can manage those things with the help of Red Hat Manager, Red Hat Virtualization, correct? So this is what we can say Red Hat. I mean, they have like hypervisors and then manager. Now, when we talk about this OpenShift virtualization size, right? So yes, what we have that we have like Red Hat Core OS, correct? Inside that we mention everything, whatever you have this your infra, whatever you mentioned that, right? Inside that see we mentioned that like okay, so we have my KVM, right? So this is hypervisors, and then we have like what libvirt, right? That allow me to create those VMs and all, and then what we have that file that is my other Kubernetes components. Correct? Apart from that, Red Hat offer one more thing known as like what? Red Hat OpenStack platform. That what we have OpenStack platform from, right? Again, they also are offering this kind of method like what? You see, we have like unique KVM emulator, then VM, and then managed by this newer computer from the dashboard like origins. Correct. So the point what we have that again, like you in your environment, like if you guys trying to manage, maintain, or deploy applications, and then try to create a VM, yes, OpenShift offer a kind of technologies now known as like OpenShift Virtualization. How we can do that? So let's assume that again I mentioned that, right? We have my OpenShift environment, so this is my console, right? So to manage that VM, if you notice on the left side section, I don't have any kind of options to manage my virtual machine, right? So to do so, or we can say to create a kind of VMs and all, right? What I need to do is that we need to install a one plugin. We can say one operator. What we can do that? You can simply click on this operator sections, right? And inside that, click on the operator hub. And here, search for a one operator known as like what? OpenShift, or you can simply type like virtualization as it is also going to use. Click on the same thing, right? And here they mentioned that, right? Some information about like what exactly this virtualizations like in exactly the see they clearly mentioned that from the OpenShift console you can see import, export, whatever. I mean, you can migrate the VMs as well. See, so that's information, right? Simple click install. He has some information about your channel, versions, and some default namespace, right? And simple click on install. And so here, what we are doing that we are simple installing that OpenShift virtualization plugin so that we can manage my VM with the help of OpenShift. This will take some time, right? And once it's done, then the next we are going to create this hyper-converged, right? So they are going to maintain that OpenShift virtualization deployment. We'll talk about that, like what the use of this hyper-converged, how we can modify, create, and all those things. But the default part is that like what? Once you install this operator, after that, we need to simple create this hyper-converged, right? And once it's done, you would simply refresh your console, log in or log out from your account. And after some time, once you notice now in the left side section, we can see one more details. We can see one more sections known as like what? Virtualization. And inside that, we have all those options are available. Like we can create, delete, manage, maintain, import from the template, YAML, multiple options are available. So let's wait for some moment and then we will talk about like get those two things again. Okay, so yeah, so if you notice now, right, after a moment, maybe take another like one or maximum two, like that, right? You can simply create from here as well, right? Like simple click the create. They're going to create this features for you. And see, once you notice now, they asking. So just do not change anything here, right? Simple scroll down and click on this create. Once you click that, right? See, if you guys notice now, the system try to see condition what we have that progressions and decay, right? This again taking some time, and once it's done, right, we get a pop-up like what? Like refresh your console, or somehow you guys need to log out and log in back in that account to get that virtualization check. Okay? So yes, like let's wait for some moment and yeah, then we'll yeah, perfect. See, so once we after some time, see, we get this one. See, we change something and see, I'm getting this message like what? So update your console. I mean, you can refresh from here as well, or refresh this date console. And once you refresh that, they try to reload that entire console. Correct? Maybe you can see that on the left side, but in my case, not showing here, not any issues, right? No worries. Simple click on that admin section. Just click log out and log in back. Like with what username that you set at the time of installation on installation of your cluster. Once you log out and log in back and see, so it's not there. I need to again refresh the console. So this must be there, right? I'm just trying to refresh that. Okay, it's not there. Let me verify whether it's created or not, right? Because sometimes that I also have a details. So here we have my virtualization. Since converse is like completed, okay, and it's in the progressive. I believe that it's taking some more moment, right? So meanwhile, let me refresh that, right? Sometimes this will refresh the pages for me, right? So yeah, now see, once we refresh that and see here we get a set, correct? Right. Yes, so if you notice now, once we, I mean, this will take me some time, so again, we can discuss on how we will test that. We don't need to worry about that. See, now we get this section like virtualization. Now, once we explore this section, see, we have these all the options. What? Like we can see entire machines, the catalog, VMs, template, type, multiple of right? Once you click on this overview section, right, to see, they mentioned that like, I mean, this is the first time once you install that OpenShift Virtualization plugin, right? So they mentioned that like how to create on all those things. Not sure about that. See, on this start tool, right? You see, they mentioned that like select your appropriate project and all those things, right? And then you can choose that details, like whatever information you have that, right? Then set your configuration. So all these options they mentioned that, right? Your template and all. So they're talking about that. So your first time information, as earlier application they mentioned that, right? Your private keys and all those things they mentioned, correct? And see the information about your details, and then once you do, this is the information. Now you wanted to create these machines and all, what you guys can do that, see, we have this virtual machine sections. Just for the example, I don't have any machines yet. Just for the example, right? If you want to create that, see, they're offering a multiple mechanism. We are not going to talk about this things. Yeah, we have like, see, once you click on this section to see what we have there, from instance type, from the template that we already have that, or you can write a YAML file from the scratch, create a VMs, right? Let's suppose that from the template section what we have there, so they are offering some default sample templates. See, like we have a CentOS, Fedora, RHEL 7, 8, 9, Windows 10. So these are samples are available. Correct. What you can do that you can simply click on, it's a VM actually, right? It's a just for you. Once you click inside that and see, once you click this customizations, right? I mean, you don't have this machine yet, right? Once you click this setup now, right? Example. Okay, see, so once you click on this information, see, they mentioned that like the disk size and all this, right? Want to customize anything, you can set on the customizations. Apart from that, we have seen, correct? Not now, yes. I mean, in this section, we're simply talking about that the console of this virtualization, right? And see, we have this console and all. Then you can have a bookable columns and all. You can add it in that particular project, right? You can set and you can define those migration policy. So these are some details we can say that, right? Like how we're going to do these resources, how to create a VM, assign those SSH keys, right? I mean, many more methods that we're going to talk about in the next section. Here we simply talk about like what, how to install, right? That virtualizations inside your OpenShift. Correct. So once it's done, yes, right, you can verify inside this left side section. Like okay, so we have this virtualizations, and under that we have. If you're not getting this option, try to refresh the web pages, or simple just log out from your account and log in. Perfect.